Wizard of Wishaw, it's John Higgins. And joining him, a player bidding for his 23rd ranking title. Please welcome the jester from Leicester, it's Mark Selby.
The stage is set. This is the quintessential clash of tactical titans, proper players in a proper final. Together, they are two of the very best of British, head-to-head for British Open glory. We could not have a better climax to what's been a wonderful week. So, Ken, any predictions?
Well, I'm going to predict it's going to be a great final, Phil. It could go either way, but yeah, two great champions, as you mentioned, both quintessential match players of the highest degree. And what a setting, what a day, and what a venue as well here in Cheltenham, the Centaur.
Yeah.
Crowds have been brilliant all week,
Massively.
and I'm sure they're all
7-5, with, of course, 10 the target to become champion. So this now the fight to the finish. Two players well used to winning tournaments. John Higgins has won 54 professional titles. Mark Selby 37. But have both waited a while for their last ranking success. So whoever comes through at the finish, it's going to be a big night for them. We just saw the Champion of Champions trailer. John Higgins has been an ever-present in that since the first staging in 2013. He's not in it yet this year. Mark Selby and Judd Trump, in fact, the only other two players who played in every one of those. Yeah. Yeah. Can either player step it up? Maybe that both do. John Higgins needs to right now, 7-5 down. One. His highest break tonight, just 47. But the night's not done yet. He's in. He's had the 15 minutes. I think they both appreciated that chance to get out of the arena.
Yeah, John just considering whether to have a pass at the pink and the reds, try and get something in play. Yeah, that's probably the correct decision. You know, try and build a lead.
6. Seven.
Okay, he's on a
12.
choice of a couple, but none very appealing. I actually think he didn't go in because he's got that wry look in his face, like, yeah, that's what I felt was going to... It's one of those nights, isn't it? One of those sessions, unlike this afternoon. Players do get that. They get a vibe and a feeling going into the pack that, you know, if you don't have a good vibe about it, you tend to shy off. It's a tough one.
He's also a tough one though, isn't he, John Higgins? 30 years since he won the first of his 31 ranking titles. 3.5 years since the most recent success. He's lost in 7 of his last 8 ranking finals. But there's no disgrace in that. You're always going to be playing another top player, another player in form. Of course, there were a couple of close ones he failed to close out. That was the start of a few problems he's had. Hence, he dropped out the top 16 a week ago. But we know he's already back in, just reaching the final here.
15.
And if he's going to come good at any point, it's going to be at this part of the tournament, isn't it? When you have to. He's done that so many times before.
$16.
I know one thing, if he wins tonight, that baggage handler, Charles de Gaulle Airport, might get a little bottle of wine or something, because oddly enough, his old queue getting wrecked. Done him a favour, he loves this new one.
Just not happening when he plays into them. Yes, he's still got one, but awkward
21.
queuing it. It's going to depend on how centre he can get to the cue ball. Yeah, it's hampered badly. Gonna have to go extremely high on the cue ball to find as much centre of it as possible. See how high that is. His tip there at address.
Yeah, just the little things he needs to be going for him are not at the moment. So it's a little sort of mental test to accept that and try and stay focused.
Green ball. John Higgins, 22.
Yeah, disappointed, but at least he leaves the table giving Mark a problem. He was wise enough, as always, to keep the cue ball central. When you do that, it gives your opponent, when the reds are like this, it gives them less to work with. As far as getting the cue ball back to bulk. Yeah, I don't even think that's an option. It may be that he's got to have a mini gamble and just try and leave the cue ball in the corner. He's attempting the return. No, almost playing what you call the old Ray Reardon shot, the in-off. If it goes in, you actually don't mind. But played it as well as could be expected. Yeah, there's the tap. Call that the Ray Reardon shot. That was It was one of those, he was a sly old fox. The great Ray Reardon. And he would play that shot and going off and pretend to look disappointed when he actually played it.
Ray Reardon, the oldest ranking event winner at 50. John Higgins tonight, if he wins, would become second oldest. Turned 49 in May. Ray's record's going to go, isn't it? I think we know the candidates. I know 3 of them who could take it in the next year or so. Of course, Mark Williams won the Tour Championship just a few weeks after turning 49 earlier this year. Ronnie O'Sullivan will be that age in December. Yeah, he got away with that one. Raises his hand to acknowledge it. It was all very free-flowing this afternoon, wasn't it? But perhaps inevitably it's become a more tense affair this evening as we get nearer to the business end of this whole tournament. Yeah, so mistake from Higgins. Selby just coming up to 26 minutes. There you go, since his last pot.
Well,
Well, if he's going to get close to a red, he's going to need all his reserves of power with a shot. Oh, that is a fabulous shot. It really is. And if the black goes, which I'm pretty certain it does, this might be a better chance after this next shot. But that was pure class, that brown.
six.
It's been 18 months since his last success in a ranking event, but maybe the talk of the sort of drought is a little overstated
13.
because he's actually won a ranking event every year since 2014. It's the longest current run of any player in terms of winning one every year.
14.
It's just there are so many, aren't there? You know, if you go a few without success, people start to notice, I guess.
Twenty.
2 in 1 shot this time. Try and flick the red half ball. The right side of it, obviously. If you miss it, pink is waiting.
$21.
Just didn't judge the pace of it.
$27. $28. $34. Mark Selby, 34.
That annoyed him. There was some hard work still to come in this frame, but that miss frustrated him.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
This final's following a similar path to last year's British Open final. Mark Williams got the better of Mark Selby 10-7. It was a score fest in the afternoon, and then in the evening, of the 9 frames, there were only a couple of 60-odd breaks, so the scoring dried up then as well. Oh, John, foul 7 if the black... Oh, wow.
Foul.
That is a major mistake.
Max Selby, 7.
Really is. So Mark Selby out by the 7 points, 19 in front.
1.
Yeah, 19 and 3 pinks is 40, so looking for one of the reds on the cushion.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a different
7.
match, but it's not through want of trying. They've still been attacking. It's just that mistakes have crept in. It must be to do with the fact that, you know, there's a big title on the line. And it is big, despite all they've won between them. when you've gone a while without one. It's a big prize to land and really give yourself an injection of confidence going forward the rest of the season.
8.
For Selby, of course, he's already in the Champions. He did win the Championship League, but the Players' Series, that would be certainly the first couple of events of that would be locked down for him. But also he's been looking to enjoy snooker again, and of course, it's just a fact.
14.
You enjoy it more when you're winning.
$15.
No heroics here. Dead straight would be absolutely fine.
$21. $22.
Yeah, absolutely made sure. Quite rightly, 2 snookers needed.
Paintball.
Help as well. 47 in front now, so
28.
okay with the red on. The free ball is a possibility, but Mark Selby, well, he may be snookered himself, but still a big favourite.
Max Selby, 28.
It was a big error from Higgins to catch that black the way he did.
Frame conceded. Frame max
Conceded enough of that frame. So again, it wasn't the most flowing frame of snooker. Mark Selby doesn't care. He's won it. He's 2 from the title, leading 8-5. Welcome back to Cheltenham. Mark Selby's won
Thank you, the
37
14th
professional
frame.
titles, but
John Higgins to
strangely,
break.
none of the ones we've covered here over the last decade on ITV. And we remind him all the time of that, but after tonight, that might have to stop because he's 2 away from lifting this British Open title. John Higgins has got to try and cut out the errors that simply weren't there this afternoon. Although he was 5-3 down, he played outstandingly well himself. But the breaks have dried up tonight. It's been a more disjointed affair. There's still time for that to change. For Higgins, though, it'll have to be soon.
Another fabulous pot. It's almost the hallmark of how well a player is cueing. It's such a difficult shot that to even get close to the pot, in all honesty. And he's looking to press ahead with the long straightish green. Oh, that's superb. That is wonderful. It really is. And there was no hesitation. Didn't even think about the safety shot.
Ball.
Yeah, reminiscent actually of this afternoon, the quality that we saw, as David said. Really is. When he gets in form, this fella, he's unplayable.
Yeah, there have been several times in this tournament where he's gone on the offensive, he's pressed. We saw it last night, actually, with Mark Allen after that seemingly interminable re-rack in frame 1. Straight away when the frame actually started again, he was on the attack. And maybe at 8-5, a little bit more breathing space. This is the time now. He's sensing he can all but get the match won. Of course, he had all those deciders earlier in the tournament. He is sort of known for them. He'd much rather win more comfortably.
No, that was a fabulous shot as well. What it means is that he's pretty much guaranteed the low black
18.
now, almost picking his spot from the left wing to meet the right half of the pack, I would imagine. They're going deep on the cue ball.
19.
Okay, so there's the low black. I mean, as far as going deep and getting the cue ball spinning through them, he's the man for the job, but boy, there's a lot of reds to get through. See? Oh, wow. What a shot that is. Not many players in the game could get the cue ball spinning the second time. Watch this. Once, twice, actually 3 times. Wonderful shot.
$27. $32. $33.
The action he gets on the cue ball is largely because of the length of the backswing. Just watch it when he plays a shot with any power. It's so long. I mean, he's a big fella, so he actually disguises it well. But it comes all the way back.
39.
See, he's able to get the cue ball spinning that bit better when he's near his best. Also gives you such a wider range of shots. Looking at the cannon, so he must be playing it because there's no loose red to play on. Almost tried to find the gap through them, just there. Perfect.
$44. $45. $50. 51.
So he has engineered a wonderful opportunity to get to within one of victory. Talk about his form and, you know, a slight title drought, but of course he has had off-table issues, which he's opened up about,
56.
that have obviously affected his game. I think for Mark Selby, though, and it's been true since he was a boy, the table, the snooker table, has always been a haven away from the outside world. It's where he almost feels the most comfortable.
$57.
One of the great champions in any era. He could have competed in any era that you can pick with this all-round game he's got. Tactical nous, his potting, his shot making, his break building, his temperament. And it seems it's all coming together again here. So as you see, this is the ball that should get him to 9-5 and to the brink of victory in this British Open final. This has been another masterful break. This is the sort of snooker he was playing this afternoon.
$71.
He's already made two
72.
total clearances in this match, 137 and 135 this afternoon. You did say, Alan, at the start of the week we were chatting backstage that you thought he was playing well. You'd noticed it as the
79.
season had gone on.
Yeah, well, I was lucky to spend quite a bit of time with Mark last week in Brentwood at the English Open
80.
and chatted to him, basically chatting snooker and his form, how he's feeling, how he's playing. And there was an awful lot of good stuff in there. Ultimately, he had a terribly disappointing result in the quarter-final to Ishpreet Singh Chadha 5-4 on the black. But I've seen enough and also spoke to him enough to kind of feel that this might be
82.
in the offing. I think one other thing that I kind of
83.
suggested at the end of this afternoon with a chat with Rob, I kind of suggested that John's got to be careful when he breaks off, leaving the half ball red. He did it in frame 8 and Mark made a 1-3-7. He did it in this frame, the exact same break off, and this is the result of
85.
that. Not a lot John can do about it, granted.
86.
But isn't it good, David, to see him play like the champion we know he is?
Absolutely. He's been such an important figure in the sport the last decade and more. Just his attitude to the game,
91.
the respect he has for it as well, because he was never given anything, Mark Selby. He had to work for it. He's still working. That may have been a kick. He's staring at the cue ball accusingly because he's been denied another century. But he's made 91 and he's one away from victory, still giving the cue ball a stare. But the fact is, he leads 9-5.
Thank you, the 15th frame. Mark Selby to break.
So Selby went on the front foot there and it worked. Can he now put the match away? John Higgins, of course, will have other ideas, but it suddenly seems a long way back, doesn't it? First time there's been a 4-frame gap.
Yeah, John has trailed 9-5 in big finals before and prevailed. But this seems like a mammoth task ahead of him. What does he have left? I hate to say it, but there's a tinge of resignation about John's face there. He's not giving in, not by a long shot. But Mark Selby, like all the great champions, is a tremendous finisher in finals. Oh, look at this cue ball. I mean, I know it's not the most difficult shot ever, but it's almost effortless, quite honestly. And just when the winning line is beginning to present itself, that's when so many times in the past he truly comes alive.
Twelve. 13.
Yeah, here it is then. No problem with, as we know, the power into the three together and get the cue ball spitting back towards them. Just fabulous. It really is. That is awesome. All right, his next shot's going to be awkward, but look at the spread. If this next shot goes correctly,
20.
they're going to be all there for him.
It's just so awkward to get to, but he's played it superbly. So this is a serious chance now, as Alan says, to get it won. Of course, he hasn't qualified for the next event in Wuhan in China at the weekend, but this will more than ease the blow of that.
$28. 29.
I think Mark Selby's a player who's been massively misunderstood and misrepresented actually over the years as a slogger and a grinder. If you've watched today's final, you'll have seen the different levels to his game, the different facets to it, including the scoring, the shot making, and in situations like this, the bottle as well.
$36.
Because everyone has their favourite styles and favourite players and preferences on how they like to see snooker played.
37.
But you know what? What's not boring? Winning.
42.
He took a little time out in the last frame on about 20 odd just to get his mind on the order that he wanted to take the red colours, and he's kind of done the same just then. Just kind of going round looking at things that weren't really there. They weren't really a thing, because it, you know, stun the red in, you get a straight pink. But he's that smart and clever. You know, I was talking about
the second man,
the
please.
late great Ray Reardon disguising things when he was playing. It's a trait that Mark Selby also has, you know, even there. Just clean the white, please, referee, or the pink's going to be spotted. So he backs off, little time out, sip of water. Just keep everything nice and calm.
Yeah, it's a good comparison. I mean, Ray Reardon, he would use sort of laughter, wouldn't he, to his advantage. It'd be all smiles and then suddenly go for the jugular. We saw a little bit of that last night with Selby after the re-rack. It was all laughing and joking. Next minute, a long red had flown in, he won the frame. Another legend that we lost earlier this year, Ray Reardon.
$50.
Truth is, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants. One day they'll be naming trophies after this man.
$55.
Shouldn't be a problem, because any angle on the next black, even straight, is absolutely fine.
$56.
There you are. He's pretty much straight, but the red to right centre, if he wants it, will do nicely. Just another time out, a little breather, because he knows he's almost there. But as is his way, he typically plays a shot that certainly...
63.
I know Stephen Hendry believes, and I do too, that he's the best in the game at that shot. Red and a simple blue to follow. He's going to be the champion.
64.
Yeah, at the end of last season, Mark Selby was very disappointed to lose in the Tour Championship. First round of the World Championship, was talking about possibly retiring. Thank goodness he didn't. Because when you can play like this, why wouldn't you want to carry on? He's so tough. He's proved it again. Barring snookers, this is for the title. Would love this in, just to, you feel, confirm it. And it goes.
70.
And now the relief will descend. John Higgins, a week ago, dropped out of the top 16 after 29 years. The obituaries were being written for his career. Typical Higgins, he got back in after a week, but he'll still be disappointed, of course, not to get his hands on the trophy. But what can you say about the man at the table? What a warrior he is, what a fighter,
73.
What a player, full stop. We saw a week ago at the English Open, Neil Robertson return after barren spell. These great players do not stay down for long. Their resolve, their determination
81.
comes back to the fore again, as it has done this week for Mark
82.
Selby. Remember, he had 4 deciders, some of them very close, that he had to survive. But he played really well last night in the semi-finals, even better in the first session this afternoon, and again at the end of this match to get it won. 91 in the
87.
last frame, and whatever this finishes up as.
88.
He wants a century. He'll settle for 93.
Selby, 93.
Mark Selby ends an 18-month wait for a world ranking title. John Higgins, as ever, gracious in defeat. It was a wonderful first session. Hard fought at the start of the evening, but Selby pulled away at the end. He wins the British Open for the first time, ranking title number 23. He's beaten John Higgins by 10 frames to 5.
Mark Selby!